What do you think of when someone talks about Harvard? Legendary institution, Ivy League, best university in the world. What about a shopping mall for human remains? Because that's what it is said to have become. This story is about the Harvard Medical School. It's embroiled in what's being called the Harvard Morgue Scandal. The charge is that Harvard was trafficking human body parts. These bodies were donated for science, but parts of 400 such bodies were allegedly sold across the US. Now there's a lawsuit against the college, a class action lawsuit. 19 more families have joined it. Here's a report.
In June this year, some US colleges, including Harvard Medical School, were rocked by morbid allegations. Harvard's morgue was being used as a warehouse. One of the employees working for the school was dealing in human body parts. He was selling the remains of people who had donated their bodies to Harvard for science. They donated to Harvard's Anatomical Gifts program that's used to train doctors. But after the training was completed, these remains were being trafficked by a worker in Harvard's morgue. The Harvard morgue manager's involvement came to light after US authorities busted a nationwide body part trafficking ring. The morgue employee, Cedric Lodge, has been indicted on multiple counts of conspiring to transport and sell human remains. He's been accused along with his wife and several other people. They've allegedly been doing this for years, since 2018. The Harvard morgue manager is accused of supplying body parts till about August 2022. That's 4 years. And reports say almost 400 people's body parts were trafficked. They ended up in macabre places, like a doll shop called Cat's Creepy Creations, which sold dolls made with real human skulls. Some of those skulls allegedly came from the Harvard Medical School's morgue. There are even more horrific details. Human brains sold for $200. Faces that had already been dissected sold for $600. Skin sold to someone looking to tan it and make leather. It's disgusting and disrespectful to the donors and their families. The donors were people who decided to donate their bodies to science, to make one last difference in the world. These donations are essential for medical studies. Aspiring doctors and dentists need to study them to better understand the human body. And many donate their bodies to help train a new generation of medical professionals. But there's an implicit understanding people have when donating their bodies, that the remains will be treated with respect. That once the studies are over, they will be turned to ashes and returned to the families. It's a solemn oath that Harvard seems to have violated, and now the college is being sued for this. 19 more families have joined a class action lawsuit against Harvard. The lawsuit alleges that Harvard abandoned the remains in a facility that was a place of freakish desecration where, according to the indictments, criminals were allowed to roam and pick over loved ones' remains for bits like trinkets at a flea market. That's what the lawsuit says. Harvard denies the charges and has not spoken much about the case, saying they do not comment on ongoing investigations. The college has issued an apology, and it has called the morgue employees' actions an abhorrent betrayal. But other than that, the college has maintained its silence. There are multiple ongoing lawsuits. Many families have come out to demand accountability from Harvard. While the Harvard Medical School is not directly involved in the trafficking, it is being sued under a law which says an employer is responsible for illegal activity at the workplace. If the college is found guilty, it may provide a measure of peace to the distraught families. But the whole Harvard morgue scandal is a wake-up call. Universities need to ensure this kind of thing can never happen again, especially in places like Harvard. The reputation it has built over the years cannot be a shield to paper over such cracks.